I'm writing this from a motel room in Pennsylvania, and I need to get it down before I forget, before my memory adjusts itself to make sense of what happened. Because right now, I still remember both versions of reality, and that's not supposed to be possible. My name is Marcus Webb. I'm 29. I work in IT consulting, and up until 5 days ago, I thought I understood how the world worked. Trains run on tracks. Stations exist in fixed locations. Time moves forward, always forward, 1 second after another. I was wrong about all of it. This started on a Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. I was in Boston for a client meeting, finished early, and decided to take the Amtrak back to New York instead of flying. I do this sometimes when I need to think, to decompress. There's something calming about train travel, the rhythm of it, the way the landscape slides past your window like a slow-motion movie. I boarded the Northeast Regional at South Station for 15 p.m. departure, got my usual aisle seat in the quiet car about halfway down, stowed my laptop bag, settled in with my headphones and a podcast about unsolved mysteries. Ironic, looking back. The train pulled out on time. We made our usual stops: Back Bay, Route 128, Providence. Everything normal. I dozed off somewhere around New Haven, the podcast still playing in my ears. I woke up to the train slowing down. The announcement came over the speakers. Now arriving at Millbrook Station. Millbrook Station, next stop. I pulled out my earbuds, confused. Millbrook wasn't on our route. I'd taken this train dozens of times. The stops were South Station, Back Bay, Route 128, Providence, New Haven, Bridgeport, Stamford, then Penn Station, no Millbrook. I figured maybe I'd misheard, or maybe they were doing some kind of detour. But when I checked my phone, we weren't off schedule. It was 7:43 p.m. which was about right for where we should be. Just past Bridgeport, maybe 20 minutes from Stamford. The train pulled into the station, and that's when I first felt it, that wrongness, like reality had shifted slightly out of alignment. The platform was modern, too modern. Glass and steel architecture, LED lighting, digital displays showing real-time train information, but it was empty. Completely empty. No passengers waiting to board, no staff, nobody. Through the window, I could see the station name clearly, Millbrook Station. Below it, smaller text, opened October 2024. I read that 3 times before it sank in. October 2024. It was October 2023. This station wouldn't be built for another year. A few other passengers had noticed too. A guy across the aisle was frowning at his phone. An older woman, too, rose up, had stood up, pressing her face to the window. "This isn't right," she said to no one in particular. "This station, it shouldn't be here." The doors opened with a soft hiss. Nobody got on. Nobody got off. We sat there for maybe 2 minutes. The train idling at this impossible station. I kept looking at my phone, at the date, October 17th, 2023. Then, at the sign outside, October 2024. The conductor's voice came over the speaker, but it sounded distant, distorted. "Millbrook Station. This stop is Millbrook." Then, barely audible, like he was talking to himself. "This isn't supposed to be here yet." The doors closed. The train pulled away. I twisted in my seat, watching through the window as the station receded behind us. The whole thing was lit up, bright and clean and modern, sitting there in the darkness like a beacon, and completely, utterly empty. Did you see that? The guy across the aisle was looking at me, his eyes wide. That station had a 2024 date on it. I finished. Yeah, I saw it. That's not possible. I know. Around us, other passengers were murmuring, confused. But within 30 seconds, the train had picked up speed again, and the weird moment was passing. People were settling back into their seats, shaking their heads, going back to their phones and books, like it was already becoming a strange blip, a trick of the light, a misreading. But I couldn't shake it. I pulled out my laptop and searched for Millbrook Station, Connecticut. Nothing. No news about construction. No public transit announcements, no future stations in development. Then I searched Millbrook Station, October 2024. The results loaded. My blood went cold. The top result was a news article from the Hartford Courant, dated October 18, 2024. Tomorrow's date, 1 year in the future. New Millbrook Station opens to commuters. I clicked it. The article loaded. It had photos. The exact station I'd just seen through the train window. Same glass architecture, same LED lighting, same everything. The article was dated October 18, 2020, for exactly 1 year and 1 day from today. But it was published online, accessible right now. I scrolled through the article, my hands shaking. It talked about the station's construction timeline, its features, quotes from local officials. At the bottom was a photo gallery. I clicked through them. Modern platform, digital displays, clean concrete and steel. And in one photo, blurred in the background, I saw something that made me stop breathing. A train, the same model as the one I was on. And on the platform, barely visible, passengers, boarding or departing. I couldn't tell. I zoomed in on the image as far as I could. One of the passengers looked familiar. Something about the jacket, the bag. It was me. I could see myself in the photo, standing on the platform of a station that wouldn't be built for another year, captured in a news article from a date that hadn't happened yet. I slammed my laptop shut. The guy across the aisle was staring at his phone with the same horrified expression I probably had. When he noticed me looking, he turned his screen toward me. Same article, same photos. This is impossible, he whispered. The woman too rose up, turned around. I found it too. The article, the photos. Her voice was shaking. In one of them, ... I'm there, on the platform. I can see myself. More passengers were realizing it now. The quiet car wasn't quiet anymore. People were talking, showing each other their phones, their voices rising in confusion and fear. The conductor came through, and immediately people started asking questions. Why did we stop at that station? How can there be articles about it from next year? Why are we in the photos? He looked uncomfortable. No, not uncomfortable, scared. I don't know, he kept saying. That station ... It wasn't on my route sheet. I've run this line for 12 years, and I've never seen that station before. It just ... appeared on the track. The train auto-stopped for it. But the articles someone started. I don't know, he said again, more firmly. I don't know. Please, everyone, just ... Stay calm. We'll be at Stamford in 10 minutes, then Penn Station. Everything's fine, but everything wasn't fine. I spent the rest of the trip searching for more information, and the more I found, the worse it got. There were articles about Millbrook Station going back months, future months. Articles from November 2024, December 2024. Even some from 2025, all accessible, all online, all describing a station that didn't exist yet. And in every photo, if you looked carefully, you could see passengers, real people, going about their commutes at a station that wouldn't open for a year. We pulled into Stamford. Normal station, normal passengers getting on and off, reality reasserting itself. But I couldn't let it go. When we finally reached Penn Station at 8:47 p.m., I didn't go home. Instead, I went to the Amtrak ticket counter. "Excuse me," I said to the agent. "Is there a station called Millbrook between here and Boston?" She checked her computer. "No, sir. No Millbrook on the Northeast Regional route." "What about future stations? Ones being built?" She gave me a strange look. "I don't have information about construction projects. You'd have to check with the Regional Transit Authority." I did. That night, from my apartment, I called every number I could find. Nobody had heard of Millbrook Station. No construction plans, no future projects, nothing. But the articles were still there, still accessible, still showing a station that would open in exactly 1 year. And I was still in those photos. I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that empty platform. That sign, opened October 2024. How do you process something like that? How do you accept that you've seen a place that doesn't exist yet? That you've been photographed in that place? That there's evidence of a future that hasn't happened? The next day, I called the guy from the train. I'd gotten his number before we parted ways at Penn Station. We'd exchanged contact info. A group of us, the ones who'd seen ourselves in the photos. His name was David. He was a lawyer from New York. Rational, analytical, exactly the kind of person who shouldn't believe in impossible things. "I can't stop thinking about it," he said when he answered. "I keep checking those articles, and they're still there, still showing me on that platform." "Did you try going back?" I asked. "Taking the same train?" "Tomorrow. I booked a ticket for the same route, same time. I need to see if it happens again. I'm coming with you." We met at Penn Station the next evening. 5 of us total: me, David, the older woman, whose name was Patricia, and 2 others from the train. We all looked exhausted, like none of us had slept. We boarded the 4:15 Northeast Regional. Same train, same route, same quiet car. And we waited. Providence came and went. New Haven, Bridgeport, 7:43 p.m. approached. I was gripping the armrest so hard my knuckles were white. 7:43 p.m. The train started to slow. Now arriving at Millbrook Station. There it was. The same impossible station, glowing in the darkness. But this time, it wasn't empty. There were people on the platform. Dozens of them, waiting, milling around, checking their phones, like it was any other commuter station. The train pulled to a stop. The doors opened, and people got on. They filed into our car, casual, normal, carrying briefcases and coffee cups. They found seats, settled in, put in earbuds, like they did this every day. None of them seemed to notice our reactions, our horror. I grabbed the arm of a man who sat down near me. "Excuse me, what station is this?" He looked at me like I was crazy. "Millbrook, where else?" "But ... when did it open?" "Last year, October 2024. He pulled out his phone to check something, showing me the date on his screen. October 17th, 2024. 1 year exactly from when we'd first seen the station. "No," I said, pulling out my own phone. "No, it's October 18th, 2023. See." I showed him my screen. He stared at it, confused. Your phone must be wrong. It's 2024. It's not wrong." He stood up, uncomfortable. "Look, I don't know what kind of joke this is," but he moved to a different seat. I looked at David. He was talking to a woman who'd just boarded, and she was telling him the same thing. It was 2024. Millbrook had been open for a year. What was he talking about? 2023. Patricia was standing in the aisle, tears running down her face. "This isn't real," she kept saying. This isn't real. The train started moving again. As we pulled away from Millbrook, I looked back at the platform. More people were waiting there, living their normal lives at a station that shouldn't exist. And I saw something that made my heart stop. Standing at the far end of the platform, separate from the other passengers, was a figure, just standing there, still. It was wearing the same clothes I was wearing. It was me, the same me, exact same, standing on the platform of Millbrook Station in October 2024, watching the train leave, watching myself leave. The figure raised one hand, not waving, just ... acknowledging. Then the station was behind us, swallowed by darkness. The passengers who'd boarded at Millbrook got off at Stamford. Normal routine. They filed out and disappeared into the night. When we reached Penn Station, our group gathered on the platform. We looked at each other, and nobody knew what to say. What do we do? Patricia finally asked. I don't know, David said. Go to the authorities. Tell them there's a station that exists in 2 different years simultaneously. They'll think we're insane. Maybe we are insane, but we weren't. We all saw it. We all experienced it. That night, I searched for the articles again. They were still there, still dated 2024, but now there were more of them. Articles about Millbrook's first anniversary. Articles from 2025, 2026. The station was expanding forward in time, growing more real, more established, more permanent. And I kept finding myself in the photos. Different days, different times, but always there. Like I was a regular commuter at Millbrook Station. Like I would be a regular commuter in the future that was somehow bleeding into the present. Over the next few days, I became obsessed. I took the train every day, same route, same time. Sometimes Millbrook appeared, sometimes it didn't. When it did appear, there were more passengers each time. The station looked more lived in, more used. Coffee cups on benches, newspapers in trash cans, scuff marks on the floor. And I kept seeing myself there, standing on the platform, always watching the train, always in the same spot. David stopped coming after 3 trips. I can't do this anymore, he told me. Every time we go through that station, I feel like I'm leaving a piece of myself behind, like I'm becoming the person in those photos. Patricia disappeared entirely, wouldn't return my calls. But I kept going. I had to understand. On the 7th trip, something different happened. When the train stopped at Millbrook, the doors opened as usual. But this time, when I looked out at the platform, everyone was looking back at me. Every single passenger, all of them, turned toward our car, staring. And they were all me. Dozens of versions of myself, standing on the platform of Millbrook Station. Some in different clothes, different ages, but all unmistakably me, all watching. The conductor's voice came over the speaker, but it was wrong. It was my voice. Millbrook Station, please exit here. This is your stop. This has always been your stop. I felt a pull, a physical sensation, like gravity had shifted, like the train car was tilting toward the platform even though I could see it was level. The versions of me on the platform were reaching out, not moving, just extending their hands, waiting. I stood up. I couldn't help it. My legs were moving on their own. David grabbed my arm. He was on this trip too, though I hadn't seen him board. Don't, he said. Don't get off. I have to. If you get off this train, you won't come back. Look at them. They're stuck there. All those versions of you, they got off the train. And now they're trapped in the station that shouldn't exist. The doors started to close. I was at the threshold, 1 foot on the train, 1 foot hovering over the platform. All those versions of me on the platform were speaking now, in unison. You belong here. This is where you've always been going. Every trip, every journey, every train, they all lead to Millbrook. You can't escape your own future. The doors closed. My foot pulled back at the last second,